It happens every single time you come home, doesn't it? You're tired, you walk through the door, and when your cat stretches the moment they see you, you probably smile and think nothing of it. Most owners assume they are just loosening up their muscles after a long nap. It looks like such a simple movement, right? But science proves that is a lie. That stretch isn't about their body, it's about yours. It is one of the most intimate signals your cat can give you, a desperate attempt to connect that you might be completely ignoring. So is it just yoga, or is it a hidden message? Let's decode what they are really trying to tell you. Chapter 1. The Tactile Greeting and Synchronization. Let's start by dismantling the biggest myth, the one I read constantly in the comments. He just woke up. It's logical that he stretches. It's a logical human deduction, but biologically incomplete. Yes, cats stretch to reactivate circulation and loosen residual lactic acid after REM sleep. But there is a substantial difference between a physiological stretch and what ethologists call the social stretch. A physiological stretch happens anywhere. On the scratching post under the bed in a dark corner, it is a private act. The social stretch, however, requires an audience, and that audience is you. Let's analyze the timing. Your cat hears the sound of your car. He hears your footsteps. His brain switches from sleep mode to alert mode. In the wild, a predator waking up must be ready to sprint or defend itself in milliseconds. It would never expose itself in a vulnerable pose. And yet when you walk in, he does the opposite of defense. He elongates. He exposes himself. Why? Recent studies on feline cognition suggest this gesture is the domestic evolution of a behavior called allo-rubbing. In simple terms, it's the instinctive way cats use physical contact to reinforce social bonds, a kind of mutual rubbing that silently says, "We belong together." When your cat stretches towards you, he is trying to bridge the physical distance separating you. It's as if he's throwing you an invisible bridge. His body extends in your direction to say, "My attention has shifted from the internal environment to you." It is an attempt at synchronization. Cats in a colony or in a human family need to constantly reaffirm social bonds. When you are out of the house, the pack is broken. The cat's social anxiety rises slightly. When you return, that stretch is the reset signal. It's his way of saying, "System back online, my human is here, security is restored." He isn't greeting you as a physical entity. He is greeting the return of his emotional safety. Chapter 2. The Invisible Olfactory Map, the Chemistry of Belonging. Now let's go deeper. Have you ever noticed that often? While stretching, they sink their claws into the carpet, the sofa, or even your pants if you're close enough. Many owners get annoyed. "Hey, don't ruin the rug." But if you could see the world through your cat's nose, you would see that in that moment, he is painting a picture. Between your cat's paw pads lie the interdigital glands. They are tiny chemical factories that produce semi-permanent pheromones. When your cat stretches and presses his paws into the ground in front of you, he is releasing a unique chemical signature. But be careful, this isn't the classic aggressive territorial marking done with urine, which says stay away. This is affiliation marking. The key concept here is group scent. In nature, cats living together mix their scents to create a unique colony odor. This smell is the passport that says, "We are family." When you've been out all day, you come back dirty with 1,000 foreign smells. Smog, the office, other animals, the supermarket. To your cat's sensitive nose, you smell like a stranger. You smell like outside. That stretch, combined with the paw pressure, is his attempt to rewrite you. He is saying, "This space is ours. You are mine, and I am putting my scent back here right at your feet to remind you of who we are." It is a gesture of possession, yes, but an incredibly tender one. It is the equivalent of a child holding your hand in public to show that you are their dad or mom. He is creating a bubble of olfactory safety around the two of you. The next time you see those claws sink in while he looks at you, don't think about the carpet. Think that he is signing your family certificate. Chapter 3. The Art of Blocking the Path, the Emotional Toll. This is one of the most discussed and often misunderstood points. I read hundreds of comments saying, "My cat waits until my hands are full with groceries to stretch right between my feet and almost trip me. Why does he do it? Is he being spiteful?" Let's analyze the scene in slow motion. You are walking. You have a direction: the kitchen, the bathroom, the bedroom. You have a purpose. Your energy is projected forward, away from the present, focused on the immediate future, putting down groceries, taking off shoes. The cat feels this disconnection. He feels that you are physically there, but mentally elsewhere. The blocking stretch is a calculated interruption strategy. The cat doesn't want to trip you. The cat wants to stop time. He plants himself in your trajectory because he knows, through empirical experience learned over years of living together, that the only way to bring your mind back to the here and now is to force you to physically stop. It is an emotional toll booth. By stretching horizontally across your path, he creates a barrier that forces you to look down, to slow down, and often to speak to him. "Hey, move! Are you crazy?" Bingo! You looked, you spoke, you interacted. In that moment, his mission is accomplished. He broke the bubble of your human frenzy and brought you back into feline time, which is slow, present, and shared. It isn't an ambush, it is a request for mindfulness. He is telling you, "Stop running, you are home now, look at me, only we exist." It is ironic to think we spend money on meditation courses, when we have Zen masters in our homes who risk getting stepped on just to teach us to live in the present moment. Chapter 4. The Vulnerability of the Belly, the Ultimate Proof of Trust. There is a specific variation of this behavior that deserves its own chapter. The lateral stretch with ventral exposure. It's when the cat flops onto the floor, stretches out until he becomes incredibly long, and shows you his soft belly, perhaps rolling his head back slightly to look at you. Here we must tap into the rawest evolutionary biology. A feline's abdomen is his Achilles heel. There are no ribs underneath to protect vital organs, intestines, liver, spleen. An attack there is fatal in 90% of cases. In the wild, a cat would never voluntarily show his belly to anyone unless he was ready to fight using all four paws, defensive position. But when he does it while stretching languidly in front of you, he is deactivating every defense protocol. He is saying, "I know you could hurt me. I know you are a predator 100 times bigger than me, but I choose to believe you won't." It is an act of absolute faith. And be careful, this is often a test. Many humans, seeing that belly, fall into the trap of touching it immediately, and the cat bites or scratches. Why? Because he showed you his belly as a sign of visual trust, not as a tactile invitation. The best compliment you can give him in that moment is not to touch, but to admire. If you can look at that exposed belly, narrow your eyes, slow blink, and tell him, "I see you, you are beautiful," without invading his space, you have just passed the highest trust test a cat can administer. You have confirmed that his safe place is you. Chapter 5. The Morning Ritual, Surviving the Night. Let's talk about that magical moment in the morning. The alarm goes off, or maybe you open your eyes on your own. Your cat, who might have been awake for an hour watching birds from the window, runs onto the bed or approaches your face and stretches. A long, trembling stretch right next to your pillow. Why wait for you to open your eyes? Here we enter the psychology of survival. For an animal that is a predator but also prey, like small felines, sleep is the moment of maximum danger. Sleeping means being unconscious and vulnerable. To your cat, the fact that you sleep for 8 hours straight without moving is strange. When you wake up, for him, it is an event. That morning stretch is a celebration of life. It is a good morning, loaded with biological meaning. We survived the night. The pack is still whole. Let's begin again. Furthermore, cats are crepuscular animals. Dawn is their moment of maximum energy. Sharing the start of their peak activity with your awakening is a way to synchronize circadian rhythms. They don't do it with guests sleeping on the sofa. They don't do it with family members they ignore. They do it with their reference partner. If you are the person receiving the morning stretch, know that for him, you are the sun around which the start of the day revolves. Chapter 6. When the stretch becomes Neoteny, the kitten within. There is a technical detail many ignore: neoteny. Neoteny is the retention of juvenile characteristics in adulthood. Domestic cats have evolved this ability to relate to us. When the cat stretches and raises his rear end, the famous elevator butt, or quivers the tip of his tail while stretching upwards on your legs, he is replicating a behavior that kittens have towards their mother. Kittens stretch towards their mother to ask for food, grooming, or attention. They rub against her to be recognized. Your adult cat, who might be a highly efficient predator capable of catching a fly in mid-air, emotionally regresses when he sees you. He becomes a child. You aren't just a friend or a roommate. You are the surrogate mother, father. That vertical stretch with the front paws perhaps trying to knead the air or your genes is the behavioral relic of his happiest and most protected time, childhood. He is telling you, I can take care of myself, but I like it when you take care of me. Chapter 7. What if my cat doesn't do it? The 4 languages of feline love. We arrive at a painful note because I know many of you are watching this video with a twinge of sadness, thinking, my cat never stretches when he sees me. Does that mean he doesn't love me? Stop. Don't fall into this mental trap. Just like humans, cats have different love languages. The fact that your cat doesn't use the social stretch doesn't mean the bond is absent. It might simply mean his emotional dialect is different. Maybe your cat doesn't stretch but follows you from room to room, the supervisor. Maybe he doesn't show you his belly but sleeps pressed against your back, the protector. Maybe he brings you his toys, the provider. Or maybe he does that slow blink from across the room, the distant kiss. There is also an environmental factor. Insecure cats or those who have suffered past trauma might not feel vulnerable enough to stretch in the open. For them, sitting composedly near you is already an act of immense courage. Do not judge your love based on a viral standard. Observe his micro-expressions. If he seeks you out with his gaze, if his ears rotate toward you when you speak, if his body is relaxed in your presence, the message is the same. You are my person. The legacy of a stretch. I want to close this video by speaking directly to the hearts of those who left comments saying, my cat always did this, and now I miss him to death. I read your stories. I read about cats who waited at the door for 15 years, about ritual stretches that were the only constant in a chaotic life. The truth is, our cats live lives that are too short compared to the love they give us. And that gesture, that clumsy and beautiful stretch they do when they see us, is perhaps the purest legacy they leave behind. Because in that gesture there is everything. There is the trust of someone who isn't afraid to show fragility. There is the joy of someone who doesn't need words to say, I'm happy you exist. There is the loyalty of someone who chooses you every day, every time you open that door. When your cat stretches in front of you, he isn't just moving muscles. He is sculpting a memory. He is using his body to write an ephemeral love letter that lasts only a few seconds, but says, in this entire, enormous, and sometimes scary universe, my safe place is you. So the next time you come home tonight or tomorrow, stop. Don't step over him. Don't ignore him. Don't rush to put away the groceries. Stop. Watch him as he elongates for you and tell him thank you. Give him that big stretch that he deserves. Because he isn't stretching his back. He is stretching his heart to make it big enough to hold all the affection he feels for you. And now tell me, I want to read you down in the comments. What is your cat's greeting ritual? Does he block your path? Does he flop on the floor? Or does he have a way all his own to say, welcome back? Write it down, because every comment is a small celebration of the unique bond you share. And if you think this stretch is powerful, wait until you discover the invisible mistakes that silently damage your bond without you realizing it. In the next video, we break down the most common everyday behaviors that trigger your cat's survival instincts and change how they see you, including what happens when you ignore their reunion ritual at the door. Click the video on your screen now, because understanding this will completely change how your cat experiences your presence.